Absolutely, as you see Chris Melling breaking off in match number 2. With the match with Decky Gray, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your opponent, because obviously it got dicey in that 15-second shot clock zone. We know it can do that, but it felt like a little bit like all was happening out there, and it felt like all of a sudden you had the momentum, it was going to happen, and you missed a really daft yellow to the top right, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, right, Declan's got the momentum, then he has the crazy foul. It's all a bit wild.
It was, and you know, my record against Declan's not very good. I think he's beat me 2 or 3 times on the trot, so just to get a win against him was yeah, gives me a lot of confidence. And you know, the fact that I broke reasonably well in that match, apart from my last break, is also good. I put a new tip on last night, and yeah, I just got to take the positives from that. It's another step in the right direction, another quarter-final, and hopefully I can push one better.
Oh, looking forward to watching it, mate. We're going to let you go and get ready for that one, as Chris Melling and Phil Parkin do battle out there on the arena table. It's Phil at the table. Chris scratched off the break. Good early chance for Phil to go 1-0 in front. Phil is obviously the underdog in this match. Chris Melling will be the favourite against just about anybody, especially in a quick-fire format. But the way for Phil to win this match is not just by playing well, it's by playing well early, getting a bit of scoreboard pressure on.
I agree completely. Slip back in. Now Greg's gone, and I think Phil's one of those players that he absolutely believes in himself. He has huge belief. He absolutely backs his ability, and he absolutely loves taking on the big players. And almost like the bigger a player he plays, the more up for it he is, and quite rightly. But make no mistake, this is a tough matchup for Chris Melling. It really is. I mean, Chris is obviously one of the best. He's one of the big favourites for the tournament. And God, huge. Really got hold of those. And would you believe it, it's dry. Yeah, right smile from Phil, because he knows in these short races, and he knows who he's playing, and you know, a reverse clearance in the opening frame, if he could put the break clearance there, it really is a statement start. Now he's kind of broken dry. It's kind of like Chris into the match. Chris has been in good form lately. Good run through to the semis at the last Pro Series, but did well in America in the first ever Ultimate Pool USA event, taking down the Louisiana Open, another Ultimate Pool title to his name. Try to do too much there, just wanted to be on this yellow. Knows all he has to do is drop it in, gets himself onto the yellow top left, and then it's come on down the table. Just about.
Stuff.
Yeah, just about far enough so he's not going too far away from the 8 ball. Oh, he's going to dig it anyway, I think. Come across the other side, yeah.
Lovely stuff from Chris Melling, smooth and clinical.
Yeah, There was a potential for that 3-way 6-red shootout, so even though he won his first 2 games, he wasn't through.
Booming break from Chris. Avoids the middle pockets.
Don't think he has an opener on reds. How does he feel about the yellows? Yellows aren't bad. Yeah, yellow part. It's just the 8-ball really on yellows. I mean, he doesn't have a great opener on yellows either, in all honesty. But he has a better opener than he does on reds. He's taking the one down the cushion on.
A pretty hard push when that's your best ball to open up with. I'm not sure he's on. We can take the one closest to him into the middle. Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, it's a strange one because you don't really want to take that ball on that Chris did for your first shot to get your set, but equally he'll be thrilled that he was on that ball because it's your hardest ball on the table and he was perfect on it. So it was kind of, I think he backs himself to make that every time, so he was probably happy, and whereas the pool player in me was going, oh, I'm not sure about that. Very fortunate. When he hit that, he probably thought he was going to snooker himself.
He'll take this though. As Chris Melling breaks and runs to go 2-1 in front.
He was against Andrew Patchett and was on the 8-ball, just ran out of time by about a second. Very close to beating Gareth Potts' record. I thought when he made the yellow there, watching the replay, that he'd be happy because it was going to open up the pocket for the reds, but he hasn't landed on anything. If that yellow had stayed over the pocket, he would be 3 balls into these yellows already. Yellows are the set here. He just doesn't have one. Doesn't have a red either. It's very unfortunate. I think the yellow goes in the centre here, so yellows are an option now for Chris, but he's put a yellow into a poor area of the table. Red's also an option for Chris. He's got the red to bottom right. It's a case of which way round does he want to solve his problems. So he likes solving the yellow that's blocked off by the reds, and he's got some good balls to do it with. I think he's got too much angle on the yellow to top left to be able to get to the yellow. I think he'd go into the reds. I wonder if he's thinking about trying to screw across the table, or he doesn't have any options to go other balls, unfortunately. He's not far enough up the table, or he's gone too far for right centre. Yeah, I didn't think he could get to the yellow, and I think he realised that and has played that shot accordingly. Knows he's got to come up with a big shot now, but this will be, in his own mind, frame ball. Yeah. Really tough though. They're really, we talk about it all the time and watch players roll them in like they're nothing, but there is so little pocket showing into the centres when they're that sort of angle or thinner. That's not the best shot from Phil. I thought he was going to, maybe he was a little bit worried that he wasn't going to make the plant, but I thought the plant was guaranteed and he was going to screw out off the cushion and sort of middle of the table and give himself every chance to be on something. He's played the more delicate shot that maybe he felt was the way to go. Maybe he thought he wasn't making the plant and was going to snooker Chris, but no problems for him. He just plays the snooker this time round and puts Chris in trouble. This is where we get excited watching Chris Melling.
It certainly is. This is very tricky though. Phil's unquestionably, for me, played the right shot, but you're never just happy when you snooker for Chris Melling and he comes to the table and he starts drawing his imaginary lines. You fear the worst.
Where he was lining up there, it doesn't even look like there's enough room to go behind the red. No, he's changing his mind now, going a different way.
Yeah, unlucky. Got the hit.
Oh, Phil gets his reward then. I remember a couple of years ago asking Mick Hill about Chris Melling in those situations, and does it change how you approach it, as in because you know it's Chris that's playing the escape from the snooker? And his answer was simple: it's the right shot's the right shot, and it doesn't matter if it's Chris or not. You've got to lay the snooker in that situation that Phil had, and and I know that Chris is unbelievable at getting out of it with a little bit of magic, but it's the right shot. You've got to play it, and it just makes you feel a little bit more uncomfortable when you walk back to your chair when it's Chris.
It's more about how it makes you feel rather than whether or not it's the right shot or not.
So the first kind of big frame really where both players have had chances. Drive from Chris, and these yellows are okay.
Big opportunity for Phil Parkin.
It's better for him if the bottom one of those two yellows goes, but it doesn't. And even if it does, when you play the next one, that's the problem here, is what are you connecting this ball he's playing now to? It's tricky. Yeah, well worked out.
Yeah, love that.
He knew he wasn't getting it too thick so he could screw off it. That was an excellent shot. Don't really like the yellow top left as your last ball. That's why he's gone for it now, but I also don't particularly like it to connect to the one over the bottom right because it's so well guarded. I might have been tempted to go for bottom right next and back the cue ball to get onto the 8 ball better than this one, but he's played that beautifully. The control there is excellent.
Yeah, found the gap.
It's just never comfortable screwing sort of that distance to try and hit a gap. I know that you look in there, the gap is huge, but it doesn't feel it when you're out there.
Phil Parkin's played lights out so far. 3-2 in front.
2 actually knocking on the door and winning a title. Maybe today's the day for Phil.
A few players will be thinking that.
There will be. There absolutely will be.
Extension called.
This could have come out nicer.
Yeah, does he take the yellows on? He's eyeing up the reds. I kind of like the yellows more. I suppose the reds aren't bad. There's actually not much in it. It's a pretty 50-50 split.
Oh. Well, yeah, punished anyway.
Yeah, tried to attack the problem straight away. One of those reds did go, and I felt like that was probably maybe the better option, was to play on that one and then use that ball, the one he's just pointed at, to open up the other two if you're going to go reds. But he felt he could attack it quickly. But yeah, very fortunate not to.
Oh, hello, Phil.
Yeah,
keep getting that shovel out, pal.
Yeah.
He stays at the table, but for how long? Can he see that red to top left? I don't think he can.
No, but he's thinking about screwing into the red and potting this into the left centre. He's so deep now, 2 shots in, that this is one of those where he's either going to come up with a miracle finish and really hurt Chris Melling, or it's going to be 3-3. This is huge.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, so good.
What a shot, good. Phil. Wow. Oh, if he gets out from here, this is an unbelievable finish.
The double was a bonus. He was playing the one into the centre, I believe, but maybe he was playing both. But oh, what a shot that was.
And you could just see the spring in Phil Parkin's step as he came away from it. He's seeing sounds right now as the power locked in. Lovely. And he's about to go on the hill to cause a huge upset. What a visit to the table from Phil Parkin. Well, Chris Melling has got his back up against the wall. He is 4-2 down. He needs to win 3 in a row to qualify through to the quarter-final.
Simple for Chris Melling. Win 3 straight. Or you're getting knocked out of the Players' Championship. Forget about the match clock here. The way these two play, it is just down to, can Chris win 3 straight? Will Phil get an opportunity? When will Phil get an opportunity? He's got to believe he will. And he's going to have to take it, you feel, because of he's going to have Chris Melling hot on his heels.
There we go. 1 back.
Yeah, step 1 on the comeback plan for Chris Melling. This the next one that's the big one for him. It's the Phil Parkin break.
Great break. What's the split like? It's not bad.
It's good. It's very good.
Bad.
Does he have an opener on the reds? If he does, it's unbelievably good on reds. Maybe the plant is all he's got. Can go yellows. A yellow on the left-hand side to the issue. So yellows is the choice, and it has to deal with the yellow on the left-hand side. He'd love to have had a red, didn't. So he's going to have to take on the slightly trickier set.
Yeah, I like how he's gone about it though. He's opened up the yellows in the middle, and the tricky yellow he can go at now.
Looks like it's going to be a bit high. Oh, clever. Very clever. Used the red to get low on it. That really was clever. Has it come out far enough?
I think you have to take it maybe now.
Well, if it goes, I don't think he needs to. if it goes, he can work his way back round to it to have a better angle on it if it's as tight as he's making it look.
It's tight.
Yeah, I think that will drop in. It does look tight, but he hasn't tried to move it. He hasn't tried to do anything, and he would have done, I think, if it doesn't go. So I think he believes it will drop in, get right behind it, and give it every chance. Yeah, and he can drop it in absolutely dead weight.
This is the moment for Phil Parkin.
Well, it went in easily. He almost got to the centre of the pocket. What a brilliant performance this has been.
Fantastic from Phil Parkin. Absolutely fantastic. The power shuts out Chris Melling and enters the quarterfinals of the Players' Championship.